Hello, this is George with Watchman German Shepherds. We're with Prada this morning. Prada's about 35 days into her pregnancy. I'll just go over a few things with you that go along with that stage of pregnancy. You may know that the typical canine gestation is between 58 and 65 days. So we say 9 weeks. So that being said, she's about halfway, a little more than halfway into her pregnancy. And so some things that are going on. First of all, I took her last week for an ultrasound. She was at about 28 days, and they confirmed her pregnant with 9 puppies at least. That's not always an exact count. Very rarely, actually, is it an exact count on an ultrasound. Even an X-ray can miss a puppy or two even. And then if all of those puppies that have begun to develop continue through the whole process, because that's also a consideration. And so hopefully they do, and hopefully Prada has a safe delivery of a bunch of healthy puppies. So back to just examining her at this stage, 35 days. I can see where her tummy, her sides there are sticking out just a littlest bit. A lot of times with the black and red shepherd, you can see right along the coloration line. Come, Prada, come. I'll try to get the camera on there. And you can definitely see when you do from the top, again, right there on that edge where there's the little bulge. They're right here. And then also with Prada, her nipples are slightly enlarged, definitely enlarged. She in the back glands there, the mammary glands toward the back, she's just starting to produce some milk there. You feel a little bit of milk starting to go into those back mammaries. And always with all the dogs, the back ones are the biggest and then the front ones are the smallest. And so they have 8 mammaries, by the way, in case you didn't know. See, Prada really has a great conformation. She's a great dog, very mild and gentle. She is an IPO1. They changed the name again. IPO1 is the old Schutzhund 1, which is the title for tracking, protection, and obedience. And then also she's core classed, which has to do with being approved for breeding after they get their IPO. Then they go before the judge to be approved or disapproved for breeding. And really, the titling that they do, the work that they do there with them, is to prove the dog's worthiness to pass on its genes, right? So it's a whole big deal, and typically people don't get into that whole thing per se, but they do appreciate the outcome, whether they relate it to that discriminating process that takes place in titling and giving the approval, as it were, to pass on the genetics with the core class. Whether you relate it in that way, probably you do not, but whether you do or not, you can appreciate that in any good, well-bred dog, right? So Prada has been through that, and she is again approved for breeding, and so I'm really happy. This is her first litter. I'm happy to be seeing this take place. We missed a few breedings with her for reasons I won't get into. Victor, I won't mention any names there. Victor didn't come through, and so she has been bred to a great dog, Ethan. Ethan is a stud of one of my breeder friends, and so she's pregnant with his litter, and we're looking forward to a great litter from this breeding. Maybe you can see there again at the belly hanging a little bit lower and a little bulge. I can see again because I know her, but I assure you, if you can't see it, it is there. And so it's just a little, and at this stage the individual puppies are very minute. I don't know the exact size, but really small, maybe smaller than, I'm sure they're maybe smaller than a walnut. And so there's some rapid development that goes on from this stage here, the 35 days to final birth. And so we will do another couple of videos with Prada just showing the outward signs of the whole pregnancy, and hopefully that's interesting and informative to you. And so at this stage, also I'm thinking where typically breeders start to increase the food amount at about 40 days of pregnancy. So as a rule of thumb, you know how that is. Everyone has their own little thing. I go by the individual dog. If they show that they're real hungry and they get all fussing at an empty bucket, then I start to feed them more. And that's been the case with Prada for a week now, where she has a very good appetite to begin with. You know, dogs are like people. Sometimes you get a dog that will eat all the time, and you get other dogs that will, you fill their bucket there, or you give them their food, and they'll pace it out over the day. And a Prada is not one of those dogs. Whatever you put in her bucket, she eats right away. And so I know her, and even though that's the way she is, I noticed the difference too, that she really needed to be getting more food. And little wonder, she's having 9 puppies, that she's hungry. And so she's eating for 9, right? Or 10. Let's not forget her. So, well, I think that'll do it for this video. Just wanted to show you a 35-day pregnant German Shepherd, West German Showline German Shepherd, Prada. And she really, again, is coming along very well, and we expect that she'll be a great mom. And we'll pick it up again in another week or two maybe, and we'll see how she's doing at that point. So she's about 30 days left in her pregnancy. And so we'll catch up with that another time or two, and then of course the delivery and the subsequent puppies, and watch their growth through the 8 weeks that I have them. So with that said, until next time, the Lord bless you as you trust Him. I do thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing, comments, questions, and all that social media interaction stuff. And you just have yourself a great day. Hope you're enjoying things, and hopefully soon they loosen up some of these restrictions with the COVID-19. We're in that time right now. It's May 12th, 2020, and talking about loosening restrictions. Some states have, some states have not, and a bunch of different stuff surrounding this unusual pandemic that we're experiencing. And so, aside that, hope you have a great day. Take care.